Mega City 1's Citi-Def. Every sector is required to train and maintain a militia to take up arms and support the Justice Department in the event of war or civil unrest. The recruitment brochures will no doubt have you believe that joining your local platoon will grant you a new lease of life and you will become the best you can be. But in reality, these weekend warriors have turned out to be criminals looking for easy access to weaponry, working for the Sovs, and more often than not make the Dad's army look like a crack commando unit.
Don't tell him, Pike. Pike.
Greetings citizens and welcome to another episode of Just Dredd miniatures games from Small World Games. The keen-eyed amongst you will have noticed that there is one miniature missing from the ranks, and this guy will be the subject of today's vlog. I mentioned this before in my unboxing vid that this guy is my favourite of the Citi-Def. Every military squad in the history of media has its badass, and this one is mine. Kind of reminds me of Sugar Watkins from Starship Troopers. These are ultimately your typical sci-fi soldiers, and if you're working on some Cadian shock troops or Stargrave troopers, this may also be of interest to you. So this has been primed with black spray, and the first thing we're going to do is apply the base colours, kicking things off with an application of a Mechanicus standard grey to the trousers, remembering that to get the best result, make a single diluted application and repeat. Moving on to the skin, where I'm going to apply a base coat of Rhinox hide. Now, onto the armour. For this I'm using Nagaroth Night. This will also be used on the helmet, pouches and the trim of the poncho. Sticking with the poncho, I'm giving it a layer or two of Abaddon Black. I'll also be adding this to the boots and the top and strap of his helmet. Finally, for the base coats, I'm applying Lead Belcher to his weapons and buckles. Now, onto my favourite part, the washes. I don't do this very often, but I'm washing the entire model with a single colour, and this colour is Nuln Oil. Washing does take a bit more time to dry, so why not take a break, have a drink, or get a tattoo? Whatever takes your fancy. I gave the wash a bit of time to dry, during which I returned to it to make sure it didn't pool too much. Now I'm ready to start the first layers, and I'm going to start off by applying a spot of Dawnstone to the trousers, leaving the previous stages visible in the recesses. A process I'm going to stick to when applying a layer of Rhinox hide to the areas of skin. Moving on to the areas done in Nagaroth Night, and I'm going over those with Xenos Purple. I'm sure it goes without saying that throughout this stage I'm being very careful not to paint over onto the other areas. Now I'm breaking out the detail brush and I'm adding an edge highlight of chainmail, or ironbreaker as you kids are calling it these days, to the areas of metal, mainly his gun and other weaponry. And I'll also be doing this on the boots, poncho and helmet strap using Eshin Grey. And in case you were worried that I'd forgotten the top of the helmet, worry not. I'm doing that with Dark Reaper in a sort of right angle shape in one of the top corners, and I'll be finishing this off with a spot of Thunderhawk Blue. For the final highlights on the skin, I'm going to use Doomball Brown, and for the armour I'm applying a fine line to the edges of the plates using Genestealer Purple. Now onto the final stages and popping a bit of Ard Coat on the black area at the top of the helmet. Now moving on to the Camo Pattern. To do this I'm using Abaddon Black, doing it in a sort of, I'd say like a baton shape, one of those American style ones with the side handle. And once this is dried, I'll be doing the same with White Scar. Make sure you leave a bit of the grey showing from underneath. Don't put that White Scar away just yet, because we've got to do the detail on the Citi-Def badge. Now this is a nice and fiddly piece, so I'm going to raid the armoury, and this bit I'll have to finish off camera. And as far as the bulk of the miniature goes, that is that. Just the base to do. Obviously we all have our own methods of doing this. As you can see, the base has already been sanded, and I'm going to do this in grey. And that's him ready to join his comrades in arms, and my Citi-Def platoon is complete. Unless, I wonder how that would look in purple. For those of you that may be interested in giving this a go, here is a full list of paints that I've used. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and would like to see more, please like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to press the little alarm button. And until next time, stay out of trouble. Good night.